Good evening, everyone. It's just past supper time, and I'm obviously not at camp anymore. I'm back at home, so I'm just sitting at the kitchen table and have my my hands are free now. I'm not carrying the phone around, so I'm using my very sophisticated camera holder, which is a bowl of fruit with a couple apples holding my phone up, because that's how we do things here. I had a few comments about, you know, hey, you should make like more videos and edit them better and have better camera angles and all this and that. And my cousin, actually, the one who owns the XRS that I was driving there at camp, he sent me this video of this guy building this sled and said, "Oh, you should do your videos like this." And I agree, that would be amazing to do them like that. But I'm just like, that guy's got two cameras going. Like, his build took 2 days, I think, and he had two cameras going all day long, one handheld and one stationary. And his handheld camera had a handheld gimbal that kept everything like super steady. And then he had voiceovers and the whole deal. I'm just like, you understand how long that takes to make a video that's 15 minutes long that like documents an entire day of something, plus multiple camera angles, plus like text over your video and voiceover and music and fancy edits. I was like, okay, so you spent 7 hours videotaping, doing the actual work, and then you spent like at least another 5 editing the damn thing. It's just, and so my reality is I have a phone. That's it. I don't have a computer. My computer broke last year, and I just never started using it again. I just did everything on the phone, and and I can't edit videos to any like quality on a phone. So, and I got bills to pay. I got a job. I'm not looking to be a full-time YouTube personality, and I mean, I got a whole 4 subscribers I think on my channel. I don't care about making money. I don't give a crap about any of that stuff. It's just me and the phone, and I hit record and I just start talking about whatever I want to talk about at the time that's related to sledding. I will never talk about politics. I will never talk about religion. I'll never talk about any of that stuff on here unless there's some political issue that directly affects, sleds or sledding. I'm not gonna bother with it. You hear enough of that crap already, and hopefully this is an escape from that. And I don't care. I can break bread with almost anybody. You want to talk about sleds? I don't care what political stripe you're from. We can sit down and talk about sleds. So that's that. But yeah, it's going to be what you see is what you get. I'll do my best to try to make the videos a bit higher quality, like within my means. I have a full-time job. We have 2 horses and 3 dogs at home. I live in the country. I split wood. We do chores. We have a lot of extra work on top of our work day. And then on top of that, trying to get sledding in and wrenching time. And I just don't have a lot of time to edit videos. So I'll do my best, but it's probably as good as it's going to get. If I do get a computer, maybe I can do a couple that are better production quality if I'm doing any types of projects or maintenance or anything like that. But yeah. Anyway, so we'll just, that is what it is. I just wanted to just chat because so I'm selling my Formula 3. I have it listed on like Kijiji for Thunder Bay, and I have it listed on Facebook and in like 7 or 8 different marketplaces on Facebook that I'm with. And it's hilarious. I've never listed anything like this substantial on before, and I just can't believe the like the trolls that come out of the woodwork and from under all the bridges. Like, it is unreal. I had no idea. There was the one that stands out for me is I can't remember. I think it was on the Storage Wars website or whatever, or a group that I'm in. They this guy came out and he kind of hijacked my ad and said, "Oh well, I've got the same sled for $1,200." And I don't know. I kind of took a look and I replied, "Well, you've got a Formula 3 for $1,200, but to call it the same, no, sorry, not even close. Like the condition of my sled is like in the stratosphere compared to the condition of your sled. So yeah, you get what you pay for in that respect." And you know, so I just said, "Nope, my sled's condition is not like your sled's condition and price are not representative of mine. And you know, you're free to get your own ad. Please don't hijack mine. Thanks." Anyway, he just kept being relentless and kept replying and you know saying, "Oh, I can't remember exactly what he said. It was something like very bad English, like you so sad that you can't price your sled," or something stupid like that. It was just, and after that, I was just like, why am I arguing with this guy? Like, honestly, I don't care. Maybe he's just mad because I can command that price for my sled if I want. I can command $3,000 or $3,100 for it. You know, so I was like, I'm not arguing with this guy. I'm just going to kick him off the whole. I'm just ignoring him so then he can't see my ad. He can't reply to my ad, and problem solved. The funny thing is, I've done business with this guy before. I can't remember what it was, like last year or something like that. I had a bunch of parts listed. I can't remember where, but he chatted with me, and we were going to exchange some parts. And I wanted some pipes and a hood and a couple other little doodads. And I had a 98 chassis, like full chassis and everything. And so I was like, I want a set of good pipes, and I want a good hood in good condition for an F3. And the dude drove like over 2 hours to get here. And he shows up and he's got like the pipes. I pull the shrouds off of them and they're like horrible condition. And the hood had a crack in it, and it wasn't even the right hood. And I felt so bad because like the dude drove for so long that I was like, okay, well, here's these parts. I don't really need them. But then he had a buddy with him, and his buddy he was like grabbing cylinders and carburetors and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like, no, don't touch that stuff. Like we gotta have a proportional trade here, and like right now you're getting the better end of the deal, no doubt, but that's fine. Anyway, so when I saw him pop up in the ad, I'm just like, oh God, this guy again, right? Anyway, I don't deal with him anymore, and I'll never do business with him again. And because I pride myself on, you know, even if it's a chintzy, shitty part that I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna make sure that it's in good condition, cleaned up, packaged well, and follow up with you to make sure that you're satisfied with it. You know, and like, I don't know, like just this past week, there was a couple people that messaged me for parts, like, you know, associated with my ad. They wanted some parts. One guy, I sent him a can because I don't really run cans on my sled. And then he said, "Oh, do you have a reverse kit?" And I said, "Yeah, I do, but I don't want to sell it. It's like in perfect condition. And I kind of want to throw it on my sled." And he's like, "Oh, like I'll pay good for it." And so I quoted him like a ridiculous price. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay that. I'll pay it." So I was like, okay, well, I won't charge you shipping or anything. Like, well, let's just that be the price, and that's that. So he's like, okay, it'll take a couple weeks to get the money together. And then another guy, they're both from the United States. So this guy's from the United States, and this other guy that contacted me was from the United States, and he said, "Oh, I need forward gears. I have building a drag sled, and I don't want this reverse in here, and I need forward transmission cover and gears and chain and the whole deal." So I said, "Yeah, I've got that. I can give it to you. I quoted my price, shipped." And then it was just like, and I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, I don't feel right about this. You know, I'm just like, I'm shipping a reverse chain case at a ridiculous price to this guy in like Illinois or something like that, or Idaho. And then I'm going to ship a forward chain case to this guy in New York. And I was like, why am I doing that? And the guy in New York wanted to straight up swap a reverse for a reverse chain case for a forward one, which is crazy. So I was like, I can't like, yeah, I'm gonna screw myself out of like a number of $100 here, but so I was like, I'm gonna put you in touch, you Illinois guy, with in touch with the New York guy, and then you guys can just swap transmissions, just pay shipping only or whatever the you guys want to charge, whatever. But you're both going to save a ton of money, and it's like, you know, that's the type of integrity I want to have when I'm dealing with people and selling parts. And with my sled, the way I have it priced, I'm not pricing it like that to try to gouge people. It's priced like that because it is worth that. And that's that. And if somebody buys it, I'm not gonna just like, oh, it's your problem now. Like, if it's especially if somebody local, like if that thing blows up, I'm gonna help them rebuild the darn thing just for the fun of it, and like be able to chat about sleds and motors. I'll do all that work for nothing. So that's fine, and I've got all the parts to rebuild it. So yeah, I mean, anyway, I just couldn't believe like people and messaging you, badmouth you about like, oh, you're asking a ridiculous price. Well, you know what? Like, this is how it works with sleds. They're all worth different things to different people. Like there's people selling 2005 to 2007 Mach Z 1000s. And for those of you who don't know, they're the 1000cc twin cylinder motor and the Rev RT chassis. And it was like the biggest, baddest sled ever, and you had nothing but problems with them. And there are people selling those things for $5,000. I wouldn't pay $100 for one of those things. Like, for me, they're worth nothing to me. There are guys who are fanatical about them and who will collect them and everything, and that's their thing, and they are comfortable with those motors, and they gel with that sled's personality, but not me. But I'm not going to go on somebody's ad and say like, oh, you're asking $5,000 for that piece of junk Mach Z of the motor that like likes to crap cranks out, and you have to do 2 hours of maintenance to have a 1 hour ride on it, and this and that. Like, I'm not going to go and make comments like that on somebody's ad, because I know there's somebody else out there that thinks that sled is worth $5,000. And if they think that, then it is worth $5,000, and it's worth every penny that they paid. Just like there are people who will look at my sled and like, I've gotten comments asking me questions like, what have you done to the motor? And I answer, well, it's, new crank, new pistons, new cylinders with new plating, perfect head, like ported, all the oil hole mods done to it. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, that's worth it. So that person obviously sees the value in it. Just because somebody else or you don't see the value in something doesn't mean that it's not that valuable. There's a market out there, and you just have to advertise to that market. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my ad. And if it doesn't sell, I don't care. That's the price I want. And if I can't get it, I love that sled, and I'll just bloody keep it then. So that's that. I love working on it. I love working on it as much as I love riding it. And like just today, I was outside I went for a rip on it today, and early on, and like the trails are so fast right now. It's like springtime conditions, and it's just this crusty, hard snow on the trails, and you have to run your scratchers though, because like you can overheat fairly easily. But with scratchers down, it's like nothing. But man, are they fast! They're so fast. So it was really fun riding today, and like the machine's so good on gas when the trails are like that. Like, I hardly burned anything. I went like 70 clicks, and I burned like a fifth of a tank, if that. It's just nuts, because you can just back right off the throttle on most of those trails and just go. It's pretty fun. But yeah, like, and then after that, I spent all day cleaning. Like, I got like 4 clutches that I pulled apart, and they all need to be rebuilt, but cleaning all that and scraping off cylinder heads and getting my parts all in order, and just I've got more stuff than I even knew that I had. It's just so funny, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I got to get rid of some of it. But yeah, there's a market out there. So if any of you guys are selling older sleds and you feel that they are commanding, like they command a price that you want, then advertise for that price. You know, if it's out there for 5 weeks and you keep boosting your ad and nobody's biting, then okay, maybe you do have it priced out a little bit. Like I have a 3-week time limit on my ad. If it doesn't move in 3 weeks, I'm pulling it off the market. There's a guy locally who really loves that sled, and you know, I think at some point he will want to buy it, and you know, so I'm going to keep it perfect, and I'm going to continuously improve it and make it so that if that guy does want to buy it, then it's going to be, you know, the value will be there for him, and then I'll still be there after the sale to give essentially, to make sure that he's satisfied with it and that everything's working fine. And because a lot of myself's in that sled, I put a lot of myself in that sled, and I don't ever just want to hand it off and have somebody have problems with it. I don't think anybody's gonna have problems with it, but it's just not. I wouldn't feel good about that. I wouldn't feel good about that. That sled means a lot to me, and I'm gonna be there to do my best to help take care of it if somebody needs the assistance. So that's basically what I mean. I want to talk about more stuff, but we're like pushing 17 minutes here now, so I think I'll just cut it off there and just say, like, if you're selling something, especially if it's something older that has a bit of a niche market and you know that market, don't be afraid to price your sled or your item, you know, accordingly. And the hell with what other people say. I mean, you're gonna have tons of people bashing you, and just ignore them. They're morons. I mean, what else can I say? You know what's right. You know what's right for your sled, and you know what the value that you've put in it. And so don't take anybody's crap, and you know, you don't have to suffer lowballers either. I've had a few tire kickers offering me stupid low prices for it, and it was just basically, I'm like, no, sorry, you're gonna have to come up quite a bit before I'm gonna continue the conversation. So that's all I had to say, and I will do another video right after this one on the other things that I want to talk about. Okay, everybody have a great night, and it's been fun.